Hello, everyone. Welcome back, E20 Zone TV, and this is a quick preview of the West Ham United versus Genk Europa League third round of fixtures. Hope you're all doing well. If you're new around here, please give me a subscribe. It goes a long way. I want to thank all the subscribers who've subscribed recently and all the old ones who have already subscribed. Thursday's game, Genk, a team that isn't playing particularly well. They're not doing anything major in the Belgium league. They got hammered against Dinamo Zagreb last time out. And basically, when I look at this team now, I just look at they're like the whipping boys of the group at the minute. So it's an interesting one for me, this game. Obviously, we have Spurs at the weekend. And basically, what do you think's more important, this game or Spurs? Now, to me, I don't like to lose to Spurs ever. And for me, this game is very important to a point to get through the group. But I'm going to quickly go through what I feel will be the right team to pick against Genk on Thursday. And obviously, I'm going to start off with the goalkeeper, which is Areola. I think Areola needs to play. There's no two ways about that. He has to play. There's no excuses now. He's the better goalkeeper. He's a better goalkeeper than Fab, but obviously Fab is the Premier League goalkeeper. So yeah, Areola will play. The left back, to me, it picks itself. It has to be Cresswell because we have no other left back at the club. You can put Masuaku there, but for me, I just don't see it myself. Maybe get Cresswell on, try and see if we can win the game in the first sort of 60 minutes, and then basically see the game out. So it'll probably be Cresswell for me on the left-hand side. The two centre-halves pick themselves in Dawson and Diop. I think both of them are the backup centre-half pairings, Diop and Dawson. They played well against Manchester United. They played well previous to that. I can see them too. Right back. Now, if Kafau is fit, then is he worth risking for this game? For me, no. I think Ben Johnson done a hell of a good job against Everton. Played very well. Tore it up, really, if I'm honest, against Everton. And I'd play him again. I really would. I think it's too soon for Kafau. It gives Kafau an extra, basically another week of rest and recovery. And also, Fredericks, I don't think will be fit for this game. So Ben Johnson comes in at right back. Now we get into the centre of the park, and you've got two places, and we have no Alex Crowell due to COVID, and he won't be fit for this game. So we have to go with Lanzini in there. There's Noble's touch and go, but will he be fit enough to come on and play from the start, Noble, after picking up a hip injury? The answer to that for me will be no. So for me, it will be Lanzini and either Declan Rice or Pablo Fornells. I don't think Souček plays, especially after the facial wound. So for me, I can see a Rice and Lanzini in the centre of the park. Moving up top now, I feel that basically Vlasic has to perform in this game. This is a game where if he wants to show something to me and people who are questioning his ability at the minute, this is the game for him. So Vlasic has to play as a number 10 for me. I'll put Yarmolenko on the right. I think he's perfect for this sort of game. On the left-hand side, it's a tricky one, but I'd go with Masuaku myself as a left winger. I don't want to see Fornells playing in this game if he can help it. Ben Rama, Antonio, etc. I want us to sort of keep a clean and tidy sort of ship for the Spurs game, because Spurs game, I'd love to get one over on them, especially. So for me, you could either go with Masuaku on the left, or it's going to be Pablo Fornells. Now, for me, I'll just go with Mas. I would. Then Who's going to play as a striker now? You got Antonio, or I would go with someone like Bowen. I think Bowen needs a goal, right? He scored the other week, granted, but he's playing well. And I think this is the perfect game for Bowen, right? Get him up top against their defence, and if he can score a couple of goals in this game, then that's going to boost his confidence even more. Do you know what I mean? Antonio's not worth the risk, in my opinion. Right? Do you know what I mean? Even if we come out of this game with a draw, right, it ain't going to be the end of the world because we've still got 3 games to go. We'll still be comfortable in the group. I still think we're a qualifier. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, if we win this game, we only need literally one more win and we're as good as done. But I wouldn't sort of. Tottenham's a big game, like, do you know what I mean? And to me, Tottenham, if the results had changed, for instance, in the Europa League, and we was on say 5 points or 4 points, then it's a bit tricky. Do you know what I mean? But I just feel just go and go out there with sort of a semi-strong squad and see how you go. Let's get into some comments quickly. Only got 2 at the minute. Agree, mate. Lanzini and Decky centre midfield. Yeah, I agree. Hi, John. John, all the way from Thailand. Hope you are well, sir. Hi, James. Just joined the chat, trying to catch up. No worries, mate. Basically, I look at this game as it's an unnecessary game. It's a game we've got to go there to win. Obviously, we want to win the game for confidence, but it's going to be a mix and match team. What I'm hoping is that we can do the job in the first half, get a couple of goals up, see the game out. Like, I don't want West Ham to go for 3, 4, 5 because if they get an injury or anything like that, then it'll ruin us. It'll ruin us as a well, especially for the Spurs game and for future games. We've obviously got a big schedule coming up. It'd be nice to see some youngsters even play, like Ashby even playing, or Baptiste or someone like that. But the problem is, if you risk playing them and we don't get the result, then we're in trouble, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? As long as we don't lose this game, then I would be happy with whatever we get, win or draw. Do you know what I mean? But the Spurs game is a big game at the LS on Sunday, which side of the coin do you want? Do you want to go out, win this one with a squad, have a semi-knackered team against Spurs, and possibly lose that game? Now, if someone says to me right now, would you take a draw against Genk but go with a full-strength team against Spurs, I'll take that all day long. I just don't fear this group at all. I believe like the remaining 3 games after the Genk home fixture, I believe we at least get 4 points out of them games. Like, we've got Dinamo Zagreb to come to us. We've got to go to Rapid Vienna, who I thought were poor. And we've also got to go to Genk. Now, for me, if we can't get 4 points out of the last 3, then we don't deserve to go to qualify. Do you know what I mean? So, to me, I look at this and I just hope Moyes sort of changes it up a bit. Obviously, it'd be good news when Krell comes back. It's a bit of a blow that Krell's not here, right? It's just right at the wrong time. But he will be fit and ready to go for Spurs. It's a few big games, really. I want to see something from Vlasic. And I'm not knocking the geezer. And people have seen me on different platforms like American Hammers TV, etc., and other platforms. And obviously, I've been saying about Vlasic. Is he really what we needed at £33.5 million? But for me, he has to do something in this game. Right, he has to play the full 90 minutes, right, and put in a performance that makes Moyes think, you know what, Vlasic is knocking on the door. Because I'll be honest, from Sunday's performance at Everton, considering even though we won, our front 4 wasn't great, and it just seems like they're very easy to be feet under the table and happy, even if they're playing bad. Do you know what I mean? And listen, I like Ben Rama, as everyone knows, but I'm not being funny. I think he should have easily been hooked on Sunday with Pablo Fornals. So for me, it's a big game for Vlasic. Like, it really is. Like, I want him to do something, show me something. So to go, you know what? That's what we've sort of got got to come. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, Bowen, if he starts up front, which for me would be the right choice, I will not risk Antonio at all. Antonio loves to score against Spurs. He really does. So keep Antonio fresh for that. Even though he's had a couple of weeks off, right? I wouldn't even bother risking him. Or if you want, give him 10 minutes at the end or something. Do you know what I mean? But just don't play him for 60, 65 minutes. And basically where he could possibly get injured, or do you know what I mean? Or someone could go through him. Also, it's a big game for old Ben Johnson because I was very impressed with Ben Johnson. I must admit, the other day, like I thought, all right, when people say to me about Ben Johnson, they say about, oh, he can play on the left hand side. He can't play on the left hand side because he's not a left sided player. And when he's in his natural position, you get the best of Ben Johnson. He needs to sign a new contract for me because there's a player there. Whether or not he does is another issue. But yeah, that's about it for me on this sort of Genk preview. I expect the win. It ain't going to be easy. I think they're going to sit there and just sort of try and contain us. They have got a player up front who we was linked with, Paul Oniechu, big Nigerian player, striker, 6'8", I think he is. So he's a lump. He's going to be an handful for Dawson and Diop. But I think if we can just sort of maintain them, get in front, score a goal, another goal to sort of see the game out, then for me, I want it to be a professional performance, this one, because it is all about Spurs on Sunday. And if we beat Spurs on Sunday, we go above them. And obviously, we've got another busy week next week with Manchester City away. And then we've got Aston Villa at Villa Park on the Sunday at 4:30 before another international, for another Europa League week. So the next couple of weeks are going to be good. Do you know what I mean? But it's just this game's come at right at the wrong time, really, for me. If this was, I would have had Spurs this week and probably Everton away, I wouldn't have been so much bad. But it's gone round the other way. But let's have a look. Strange from the 4 new signings, only one is a regular. Yeah, I will touch on that quickly for you, John. Areola, I can sort of understand it with Areola to a point because Fab hasn't really done anything wrong. He really hasn't. He hasn't done anything majorly wrong. Maybe the Brentford goal for them to win it, possibly, but he hasn't done anything which is like been a major howler, like which people would say, you know what, it's time for a change, so to speak. So I can understand with the Areola one. I expect him to play on Thursday. I expect him to play in the League Cup game. And basically, Areola will be playing every week, basically. The thing I can't work out with the Areola thing, I really can't work it out, is why people are saying we're linked to Sam Johnson at West Brom when we've got a really good goalkeeper there who's better, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. Alex Crowell is a mystery. I will say that. Yeah, it's a really, really good game against Manchester United in the League Cup game, and we don't see him again. It's like, well, I don't understand that one. There's certain games this year where Crowell should have been on the pitch. He should have been on the pitch against Manchester United to sort of compress the midfield. Rapid Vienna, Brentford, he should have been on the pitch because Souček was poor. And yeah, I just don't understand where's Crowell. I really don't. But Vlasic has played games this year. All right, he come on as a sub against Southampton for his debut. He started it against Manchester United on his home debut because Antonio was suspended. He then played in Zagreb. He played. Who was the other one? He played Rapid Vienna. He played. And he played in the League Cup game and all. Do you know what I mean? So he played the League Cup game against Manchester United. So he has played games, Vlasic. The problem is with Vlasic, and this is the problem that I have, I've not seen anything to justify the price tag. And when I look at Usman Edouard, for instance, who played last night for Crystal Palace and he bangs in their second goal, I look at him and I think, you know what a player he is. Do you know what I mean? And we've only got one striker at the club who's been sort of converted. It doesn't really give me any sort of optimism, so to speak. But we've got to give him time, as I keep hearing from people, and time will tell, in my opinion. But this boy has to. He's going to get a chance against Genk, and I want him to put something in the manager's mind for Sunday. Do you know what I mean? Because Sunday's a big game, as I keep saying. It's against them. We don't like to lose against them. We don't want to lose against them, and it's a big game for us as much as it is for them. Do you know what I mean? Because it just is at the end of the day. And when you look at Zuma's come in and he's been a breath of fresh air, mate. Sort of finish up on your comment about the 4 signings. Zuma's class player. I watched it in Everton the other day, and night and day, mate. Like when you pay for what you get, and when I look at him and I look at people like Ben White at Arsenal, they've paid £50 million for him. If we had 2 Kirk Zumas at the back, we'd be a phenomenal team. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Bonner, he's a good player, but he's getting on a bit. So, yeah, Kirk's brilliant, mate, and long may that continue. I really do mean that. So, that is it for me on this preview. It's a big week. It's a big week now, and we will see. Right, obviously, if results go our way, if Rapid Vienna gets something against Zagreb, it will be as good as through if we win the game. I just don't want anyone getting injured. It's a big thing. If we can get to January with this team, we need to see some serious investment in this team. We really do. Like, a striker is massively needed at his club and a left back, and it just proves it. When you're sort of putting square pegs in round holes, even though I'm saying about putting Bowen up front, Bowen's scored 1 goal in 17 games. Now, to me, that's not prolific, is it? Let's be honest. And we need someone who's prolific. So yeah, like if we can just sort of plod along, nick wins, get good results, and play decent up till January, then our owners have got to step up and do something. Like, do you know what I mean? Because what we are doing, we're working on a tight budget, and we're working on sort of, when you look at our substitute bench, it's very defensive. It's too defensive, in my opinion. We need some pace on there. We need someone who can sort of stretch the play when basically we're under pressure. So yeah, John, I totally agree about flashes with the highest price tag. Just want to see something. Yep, Zuma's money well spent. Yeah, I totally agree. I really do. Hammers fans United, afternoon, mate. Hope you are well. Yeah, the thing is with everyone when it comes to Vlasic, for me, is giving him time, but this boy hasn't got time. He needs to be ready to rock and roll if one of our players go down. Like, for argument's sake, touch wood, it don't happen. But if, say, Pablo Fornals goes down, Vlasic has to come in and play. There's no 2 ways about it. And we can't put Yarmolenko in there because he ain't good enough. And we haven't got anyone else. Like, you're going to put Manuel Lanzini in there. Now, when I look at it with Vlasic, this game, right, I want to see something in this game. I didn't see a lot against Rapid Vienna, and I thought they were very poor. Right, in the last time out, I thought they were poor. I need to see something from Vlasic, and let's be honest, it's not asking a lot. Like, he's playing for West Ham United Football Club. I want him to sort of show something to us. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't played in the last 2 games, so he's going to be fully fit, ready to go. I hope they've been working with him in training and getting him up to speed with things. And if he comes out against Genk and he puts in a really, really good performance, I'll be the first one to come onto this platform and say, you know what, fair play to you, mate. I won't say I've got it wrong with him, but I'll say fair play on that performance. But I want to see it again against Tottenham. I want to see it again against Manchester City in the League Cup. I want to see it again against Aston Villa. And I want to see sort of something each game. If I see something, then I will praise him up. But if he comes out against Genk and he does not do anything or doesn't show anything, questions need to be asked of who's signing is Vlasic. For me, and this is me, my own personal opinion here. I don't believe Vlasic was a Moyes signing. I really don't. I believe it was something else. I think it was probably one of our owners because it was too. There was no rumours, there was no links. It was just he just come out of nowhere. But I don't want to go into that. That's for another day. But I want to see something from Vlasic in this game, and he has to do something. Right? It's important for us as a club because, and as a team, because if one of them players, if God forbid Antonio goes down, he has to play. So yeah, um, obviously Yarmolenko will do Yarmolenko's thing, and I just hope we can get through the game in one piece without any injuries. The only decent thing, and I know I'm rambling on a bit, is that we've got a 5-sub rule in the Europa League, so we can sort of roll these players on and off. Um, he might go. He might go and think about playing strong, try and win the game in the first half, and then pull these players off. But it's risky, in my opinion, especially when we've got a busy week. And uh, the only decent thing about it is Crowell will be back at the weekend to sit on the bench again. So, yeah, I've been thinking about that. Who signed him? Um, for me, and I will go into it. I know it's sort of this is supposed to be a West Ham Genk preview, but we'll go into it quickly with Vlasic. For me, and this is my own personal opinion, this is through people who I have spoke to. I look at this as I don't see this being a David Moyes signing. I really don't. David Moyes worked at Everton for a long time. He knows people at Everton. He must know, like, he can make a phone call and ring up a few people at Everton and saying, like, what do you think about this player? And people usually saying that he was young at Everton. Yeah, granted, he was young, right? But he didn't do anything at Everton. He didn't show any signs at Everton. He played 12 games for Everton, right? And they, they, their words to me, people I spoke to, is, "Why have you signed that man? He's not. He's just not all that." And it ain't so much signing him that I've got a problem with, because if Vlasic does come good, then great. The problem that I've got is have we put £33.5 million into a player when really we need a left back and a striker at this club? And that is an important thing. Like, we are Fred Bin up top. Like, we're blagging it, really, if I'm speaking the honest truth. And the one thing I will say before I sort of come to the end of this is that we seem to be sort of them front four, and I will say Ben Rama and all, because I'm not a West Ham bias fan, like, because he's Ben Rama, I won't have a bad word said about him. But all four of them have been hit and miss this season. Like, Antonio's been good at the start, and he's sort of last couple of games he's been nowhere to be seen. Fornell started off good. He's gone a bit sort of quiet. Ben Rama, yet again, started off really well, gone quiet. Bowen, out of all four of them, Bowen's the only one who's really impressed me this season so far. He's looked live in every game. He's tried. He's been very unlucky. And yeah, it's just been one of them. But for me, Vlasic needs to come on and prove that he deserves a starting place. At the present, he just doesn't show for me. The influence of Moyes has at West Ham would lead me to believe no one come through the door without his input. I believe so, but I also believe that when there's Jesse Lingard, and we're trying to get Jesse Lingard, and I know that through reliable people, and in the end, he ain't going to come. West Ham needed to bring someone in, and I just think they found someone like Vlasic was on the market, and they've just gone and got him. Do you know what I mean? Vlasic was being touted about all round Italy. He really was, and he was AC Milan, Atalanta, I think, was involved. There was a few clubs in Italy who they were trying to get him to go to, but he ended up coming to us. And it's not Vlasic that I have to dig at. It's the fact that he needs to start showing something. Like, do you know what I mean? If he showed something, I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, right, we've got a player. Do you know what I'm saying? But this is the game for him. Now, he's up against a team that are poor in Genk. And I just want to see something, mate. As West Ham fans, I said it on American Hammers, I say it on all platforms. We're one bad injury away from a crisis. And that's what it is. So yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. I am going to call it a day on that. That'll be me done until Friday. Now, I've got other arrangements this week, and I won't be doing a match, a player ratings for Genk, but I will be back for a preview of the Tottenham game, which is a massive game. It's a game that um, I don't like to lose against them at all. So I'll be back to do a preview for that. After the Tottenham game in the evening, 11:30 UK time in the evening, me and Charlie Walsh will be doing a player ratings, and let's hope for it to be higher marks instead of low marks against Spurs. And yeah, I will probably be doing an afterthought also. Um, but when it's all said and done, let's get to next Monday, and we've got 2 wins under our belt against Genk and the other. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're new. I really do appreciate it. I done a thank you video the other day for all the people who have subscribed. It really does mean a lot to me, and I really do appreciate it. As I always say, do you know what I mean? But yeah, so take care. Have a good day. Let's roll on Thursday. Let's get a win against Genk. Bye.